let's hear the inspiring journey of Fempstribe, the vision, the purpose, and the dream that has brought us all together. Who better to share this with us than the visionary himself, Mr. Sri Narayan Bhupen? Over to you.
Okay. So it's about a year ago when I met with Sangeeta on this project, and I was listening to her aspirations of doing something better apart from just doing business. So when we were kind of going through a lot of thought process, we realized that there is something more meaningful that can be achieved by just doing something community oriented, because in today's AI world, though our life is getting more convenient, but the community feeling is being lost. So that's where we came up with this idea called Fempstribe, where we thought, okay, create a tribe. We could bring in all kind of people and share what is more important and valuable for them. So I'm just going to walk you through the idea or the concept, why Fempstribe comes in, but there are reasons for this. Can you see the first letter of this word? What is that letter? No, I can't hear you. Many of you are not saying anything. L, okay, fantastic. Do you know that letter L plays a very significant role in your life? So you can look at all those verbs there. I'm talking about the first thing is called life itself, right? Have you ever focused on that letter L? The letter L has got two lines. Yes or no? Yeah, there are two lines to the L, and it plays a very critical information to you. Have you ever thought about it? Okay, let's go into the detail, right? You have a y-axis and an x-axis, right, for an L. So one is horizontal, one is vertical. Now, when you look at your horizontal lines, basically what does a horizontal line talk about? Your goals, basically. When you're born, you are going into your LKG, your UKG, your first standard, your second standard, third standard. Who sets these goals to you? Someone else sets the goals for you? Someone tells you that you got to go from one step to the other, right? So everything in life is goal oriented. Everything that you do, you have a goal. And someone is telling you that you have a goal to set and goals to achieve. So the axis, when I say axis, when you achieve a goal, that becomes your X. You go for the next, right? So that's why it's an X-axis and it is horizontal, right? Now, it's always about what you want to accomplish is what a horizontal line talks about. Now, if you look at the vertical axis, which is the y-axis, it talks about what is your purpose of life, right? It shoots upward. And we all have this strong question is, why am I born? So one line talks about your purpose of life, the other one talks about your goal of life. Now, if you go back and see this particular order, the horizontal line is goal-oriented and it's an animal behavior. When I say animal behavior, if you take a dog at your home or your street, what does it do? It has a goal to get some food, it has a nature-oriented goals. Once the goal is satisfied, it's over. And it waits for the next goal. So it doesn't have a purpose of life. It doesn't wake up and say, this is my purpose of life. It has goals of life. We all have goals of life. So we have goals like education, profession, partners, children. Today, if you want to get children, you first have to be educated and you have to be wealthy. So to procreate, basically, you need to go through a certain process. Animals and plants don't do that. They procreate very nicely. But humans, having higher intelligence, have a process of procreation, and we know what the outcome is today. I don't want to get into that. But then, if you look at it, education, profession, partner, children, possessions, and then retirement, goal over. How many of you really think about your purpose of life, which is on the vertical side? Now, if you take a dog, it walks horizontally, it moves horizontally. We do move horizontally, but we also have a vertical body, right? But a dog walks horizontally, moves horizontally. So it's an animal behavior to just be goal-oriented. Now, if you look at a tree, basically, what does a tree teach you? It goes vertical. When the tree creates, let's say, flowers or fruits or vegetables, does it account? Does it say, this time I made 50, next month I will make it 100, then I'll make it 200? No. Does it tell me that my fruits can be eaten by so-and-so, not by so-and-so? produces fruits, some go to the soil, some go to the birds, some go to the animals, some go to us. So it doesn't know what its goals are, but it goes in the vertical order. So if you're thinking purpose of life, you don't have to worry about the goals of life. And in purpose, there is already goals built in. But in goals, there's no purpose built in. Look at that. So as a human, when you guys go crash onto the bed, hit the pillow, you always think that, did I do something for myself? Did I do to the society something which I want to do? Now, why you don't? We all want to do, but we don't have the opportunity to do. We want, if you are a part of a tribe or community, maybe we'll come together to do something. Many of you are doing a lot of things, but then many of us don't do. Only 10% of the people are contributing. The rest 90% are always thinking, how do we go about it, right? So when we talk about purpose of life, mean very simple. You're the giver, like a tree. If you're talking about goals of life, you're basically setting targets, right? Now, when these two lines intersect, that's when the fulfillment of life happens. When you have your goals of life and your purpose of life come together, that's when your fulfillment happens. So now, to get that fulfillment, you have something called vitamin C. What is a vitamin C? There are three words here. One, you got to be confident. Second, you got to be having the connections. Third, whatever I am doing, I am having that recognition that I need to have, right? If you're not recognized for the good work you do, then, you feel a little low, but if you get recognized, great, So we took these 3 C's and we created a program where we will start using confidence as a fuel. Why I say confidence? You may have the skill, but not have the confidence, so you'll end up in self-doubts, right? So many of us may have good professions, earning good wealth, but we might not have the confidence. So now confidence, can it be taught in school? Cannot be taught in school. So what we need to do? We need to work as a community. Someone's success can be shared. Whenever you share success, that success can be automatically rubbed into you through the learnings that they've got. So when someone said, I did it, or if she or he can do it, why not me do it? As simple as that. So confidence becomes your fuel, and the only way you could fuel it is very simple. If you look at confidence and purpose, is a y-axis, right? If it's going to fuel it in the purpose side, the more confident you are, you end up being more purposeful. The less confident you are, you're going to be not very purposeful. Same thing goes in the goals also. When you are confident, even if you have a failure, you know how to overcome that failure. So confidence plays a very fantastic fueling role in your Y and your X-axis. Now coming to the second part, like I said, if you have to build confidence, then the only way that you could do is coming together, sharing with each other. The more you start talking to others, making friends, getting to know their experiences, that's when your confidence gets better. If you're going to sit on and watch television or your internet, the confidence is not going to happen because you're not having an interaction. Maybe you're listening to a lot of stuff, but you're not interacting. So the main reason that you should look into is physical interaction that you would have with your fellow beings. That will help your confidence get better, and that can only happen when you connect and you network. Your y-axis again there is that building relationship with like-minded people who would be thinking of doing things together. The x-axis would be somewhere you have a goal that someone will open the door for you. So you could build your network and get those contacts and connections set. Now the interesting factor is where the intersection comes in is the fulfillment of these two. So if you use this approach, you're going to be successful in life because you're focusing on your why, the purpose of life, and the goal of life. The most important thing I would say at Fempstribe, what we decided was, as and when these tribes come in and come together, we also want to confer them. We want to kind of recognize their contribution. Small or big. You may be a housewife, but contributing to the world around you. You may be a top executive contributing to the world around you. So while you're contributing, we want to make, and the most important thing we also want to do is, as and when the tribe gets formulated in different parts of the city, it's going to be the urban tribe. This tribe, on a monthly or a weekly basis, could visit or adopt a rural school or a rural village and kind of contribute toward betterment of the women population there. So the tribe, the urban tribe, getting now connected to the rural population. Now just think about it. You go a visit, you share your skill with a child in a remote place, and you just came back. And years later, that child saw you as an inspiration. You didn't purposely do it, but you just did it because you wanted to do something. But the child had big impact and has a better life. And there are many stories within your lives, you would have seen it, that you would have just gone, visited them and just shared some thought, things got better for them. So The idea here is not just to create an urban tribe, but also connect with the rural population and try and do knowledge sessions. We're not talking about donations or material comforts. We're talking about simple things that we could do. Share knowledge. Knowledge is the best way to do it. Inspire them to go out of the box and do things. So the idea of the Fempstribe was basically to bring the urban population together and also connect them to the rural population. Let's understand this in a little different way. You might be a little stressed out being in the urban world, but let's say a day trip or a weekend trip to the urban world can give you a different perspective of life, and you might be more appreciative of your life than you be complaining, because when you see someone going through more hardship, you'll be more appreciative. So you get out of your comfort zone, but at the same time you come back to recognize your comfort and do much better things. So the idea is not just about sharing skills, but also as an entertainment, also as something that you feel proud of, that whenever you hit the bed, you say that, okay, I did something good to someone. And purpose of life is very simple. You are not giving and taking. The purpose of life is give and given. All that we all have is given to us. We never took it from someone. Am I right? Did we take anything from anyone? Or was it given to us? So I am always born for others. We are all born for others. I'm born for my mom. I'm born for my dad. I'm born for my wife. I'm born for my friends, my brothers. So I am born for others. So my purpose of life is to do something for others. So automatically, when I do something for others, someone else is doing something for me. So it's give and given. It's not about just me. It's about me doing something for others. So the purpose of life, if you go higher up the ladder, it's about you seeing the whole world in a very different perspective rather than goals. Okay, how much will I get? It's not transactional. It is more soul-oriented, deep soul-oriented, right? Yeah, that's where we thought we'll bring in Fempstribe. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to present our concept, Fempstribe. I look forward for your kind participation. If you have any questions, or if you think that we could do things better, we could collaborate in any format, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to work with you. Thank you so much for this wonderful evening. Thank you. Namaste.